It's really disconcerting to stare at yourself, isn't it?
Yeah. Let's see here. All right, it's now. Yeah, now we are live. There's a little bit of a delay, but perfect. Good evening, everybody. Welcome back to Geek Out Cinema. I'm your host, Steven, and today on the show, we are joined by the cast from my upcoming independent horror short film for my directorial debut. Please welcome to the show Jacqueline Steenstra, that's playing Lori, and Sandy Copaco, that's playing Claire. Hi, guys.
Hi, guys.
Hello.
How is everybody? If you guys have any question in the live chat, feel free to send them over. We're going to be covering a wide range of different topics to do with the film industry and our project as well. So yeah, let's get this show on the road. I want to start off with you guys because I want people to get to know you. What made you guys want to join the acting field? We can start with Jacqueline if you want.
Sure. Honestly, since I've been little, I've loved to sing and dance and play make-believe with all these characters. And then slowly as I got older, I started studying it and studying music. And I was like, yep, I want to do this with the rest of my life, and went to college, and now I'm here.
Awesome. And you, Sandy?
Well, I've always loved theater and movies and everything to do with theater. But I was a teacher. I taught special needs and art. I was an art teacher, special needs teacher, phys ed teacher for 38 years, actually. I retired 5 years ago. And I kind of tumbled into background. And one day on background, it was a show called See No Evil. And the director told me to be crying in the scene. And I thought, oh my God, I'm not an actress. And I had to weep and cry for like the whole day. I went home so depressed. He said, come back tomorrow. It's a funeral scene. I thought, oh my God. And I loved it. I got hooked. So that being pushed in front of the camera, and it was quite serious because I thought, oh, maybe I'd laugh or, this isn't really me. But I found out it really was me. And so I just loved it. It was great to get out of myself, and I think I always wanted to be an actress when I was a little girl, but I got steered into a different direction.
Well, hey, you're doing it now, and I'm excited for everyone that's been backing up our project, The Rage, to check you guys because we have a pretty good cast and crew, and I'm excited for everyone to see your talents on the screen, and it's gonna be a fun time shooting with you guys. Let's see here. Everyone's saying, hey, hi, everybody. If you guys have any questions, feel free to send them over in the live chat. Also, I left, as you guys can see on the live stream, if you guys have not yet backed up our project, we're selling perks available for purchase on our Facebook and Instagram page. Our username is @TheRageFilm. We're selling items such as t-shirts, digital copies, posters, and much more. And if you guys would like to back up our project, be much appreciated. We're getting close to our goal, and the campaign is closing early next month. And also, FYI to everyone that's watching, also thank you to people that are watching that have entered our raffles. Really do appreciate it. They've been fun to do. But we only have 10 spots left for our Kiefer Sutherland Lost Boys signed 8x10. So if you guys would like to get onto this raffle, I would suggest so. It ends on this Friday. As I said, there's only 10 spots left, so claim it now. But let's get back to you guys as well. So did you guys have any inspirations when you guys joined the acting field, or any favorite actors of yours that you admired?
I'll go. I was doing background with in This Is America with Cate Blanchett. Of course, she's like one of the greatest actresses in our time right now. And I was watching how she acts, and she acts with her hands, and she moves like a dancer in scenes without speaking. And I was watching her, and I thought, wow, you could clop into a scene and say beautiful lines, but she rehearses her body first and her face first, and she's aware of where the camera is. And she does all that rehearsal, and she says her lines into the space, whatever. And I was just in awe of her. I thought, well, that's classic. And I learned from that it's your face, your eyes, your gestures that are as important, if not more so, than the words that you're speaking. So that was my inspiration last year.
It's great. And you, Jacqueline?
That's awesome. For me, I'm very inspired by the people I work with. Just watching other people in jobs in Toronto, I'm like, wow, you're so talented, and watch them overcome challenges while they're in rehearsals, and you watch them grow. It's just so inspiring seeing everyone working together and creating something beautiful. I love that.
Yeah, most definitely. Hey, it's it's a good point that you said there too, because it is very inspiring when you see people when you're on the actual set. You're learning from them and you're getting inspired from them, and really embrace that moment. That's awesome. We have our first question in the live chat here. They asked Jacqueline and Sandy, what attracted you to Steven's film?
That is so cute. I'll go first. When I read for Steven, and I had never done, by the way, I'd never done a film loop. I've only done 3 short films since last October, actually. They all went sort of bang, bang, bang. And you were so patient. I was such a klutz on my computer, and I couldn't, you're going, oh, it's okay. My parents wouldn't, you said this, my parents wouldn't know how to do it either. And I thought, oh, I love this kid. He's just adorable. And you walked me through it. And a good director has to be patient. That's why I really liked you right off the bat. You were so patient, and you've got this vigor about you, and like you're online, you're interviewing, you're raffling, and you're young. And I really believe that actors and people in general who love the arts should support our young artists. And that's why I like you, Steven, because you're just a blast. You're like you just have this ray of sunshine, and you're like online all the time. And I love it. I love your spirit. That's what attracted me to the project.
I appreciate that, Sandy.
For me, I first saw the audition online, and then I got the script, and I was like, wow. I'm like, this is good. Like, I'm excited. Because when you get a good script, there's not that much like effort you have to do in. Like, it falls out of your mouth perfectly. It's so beautifully written. And then as you kept changing it and doing rewrites, it keeps getting better and better and better. And it's just so exciting. Like, I can't wait for everyone to see it.
That's awesome. Yeah, I agree with you, because obviously Jacqueline's been around since the beginning. I think we went through, we had many different people apply for the role of Laurie, but there was only a handful of people that really, grasped my attention as far as their headshot and what I was looking for. And Jacqueline was Jacqueline was one of the first that applied and sent in her self-audition tape. And sure enough, she was the one that I wanted, because her performance blew everyone else out of, and I was, I'm like, I have to get her. She's better than anyone else that's applied so far. So I'm excited for everyone to, see Jacqueline on it. And and Sandy, as far as Sandy, she came onto the project a little later on, once we were getting the ball rolling with the draft, because we were trying to find her Claire for a while. And then, after posting so many casting calls, eventually I had Sandy apply. I'm like, okay, she has that look I'm going for. Let's see if we can, get her in for audition. And I auditioned a few different Claires, and she was the one that I wanted. And I got other people, such as my script supervisor, their opinion, and they're like, yeah, that's who we need. So I'm glad that you guys are a part of it. It's going to be fun. And, I'm really hoping that we can shoot next month. We have to find out what's going on with COVID by then. But hopefully the numbers stay low and we take our safety precautions, and we can shoot this film and start submitting it to film festivals for next year. It'll be a fun time. Let's see here. Someone asked in the live chat, this one's for Jacqueline. I want to go into the industry in Toronto as a writer and director. Any advice?
Oh, as a writer and director. Honestly, if you want to go to school that will give you so many connections and help guide you through the industry. But I also know that it is expensive to go to school. And if not, I would just write your own stuff and post. There's Facebook groups online for Toronto, and just say that it's a non-paying job and you want to make connections and maybe make connections with people who are in school for film, and you guys can create a project and submit it.
Yeah.
Like, this industry is so much about teamwork and working together that you can find people who are just in the beginning of their career, just like I am. And there's so many other people who need demo reels, and just doing one gig can help them build their reel, and it will build your reel as well, and build so many connections. Like, the amount of times that I see online that they're looking for a specific recommendation of so-and-so, and I'll be like, oh my God, I worked with this person, they're amazing. Like, you really should hire them. Like, this industry is so small that, like, just making connections and slowly building a group will really help you in this industry.
Yeah, of course. I'm actually going to add on to that too. As far as me, this project's been in the works for, I would say 2 years now, or close to 2 years. And from that first year of getting the script done and then doing casting calls and interviewing many people, if I were to shoot this project last year, I would have not been as knowledgeable as I am now to shoot this year. I got really, got my eyes open, and I learned a lot within the last year on how what you need to do, a film project, and what you need to accomplish it and get all your basics down and to learn the right requirements and all that stuff. So definitely, if I was kind of going into this project at first. What's it called? I never really had any. I haven't really had any experience with doing this. Of course, I've worked with cameras and editing softwares, but I was fairly new to this. So even with my project now, with my directorial debut, it's going to be a learning process for me, because I'm going to be able to learn from each of these departments that are part of the project. So listen to Jacqueline's advice, and if you want to make a movie, just write your script, start cast people, start talking to people, and you'll learn a lot. And of course, your first project probably not going to be your best, possibly. I don't even know either. This project for me, maybe a few years down the road, I should have changed this in the story instead. But do what you can, what you're capable of, and then the next time you go to the next project, you'll have more knowledge going in than the first project. So just keep at it, and keep those connections. And and Jacqueline said, there's so many Facebook groups that are on that have thousands of people that are just looking for work. So make postings on there and start making connections. Connections is pretty much what the whole field is about. So just keep doing that.
Yeah, and just to jump off of you, just taking that first step is so important. It doesn't matter if it's amazing or fabulous, just doing it for the first time, you'll learn so much, just like Steven said, and it's incredible how much.
First step is probably the scariest, but once it's done, you got your foot in the door and you're ready to go for your future projects that you're going to be working on. Good. That was a hopefully that helps. And I know Thomas, I know him in the chat. If you have any questions, I know we talk on a regular basis. He's actually been writing his own script, which I've been helping him go through and do some changes. So yeah, just let me know, Thomas, if you have any other questions, and I can try to help you as best as I can. Now, obviously, our film that we're working on is a horror film. For you guys, from your past experiences, what's your favorite genre of film to work on?
Oh, that's a good question. Honestly, for me, I just love them all. They're all just so different, because I've done a couple different ones. I've done sci-fi and I've done a couple horror. That's kind of mostly what I've done. Nothing romantic or comedic yet. But they're just so different, and there's just so many beautiful things about each style, especially horror, that you're like, ooh, this is kind of creepy, or what's happening behind the scenes, so then you're like, ooh, I know what's happening next.
But
yeah, I don't know if I could choose.
Well, I have never been in a romantic movie. I
Not
seem
yet.
to like I've only done 4, and I'm working on my 5th on the side. I've only done really like creepy old kind of, I'm not going to say old lady roles, but kind of the ones I'm attracted to are kind of the intriguing ones where I get to be a bit creepy. I've done 3 kind of really creepy ones. I don't know, maybe that's just what the jobs I get, but those are the kind of ones I like. Horror, not so much, more like the Sixth Sense kind of movies, like
Yeah, psychological.
yeah, like what you see isn't what you get, kind of thing.
Yeah.
And that's what is intriguing to me. But this one I look at as intriguing. Like you're not, I read the script a few times and I'm going, oh. I mean, how can anybody hurt little Jacqueline? Look, she's cute as a button, eh? Well, it might happen. We're not going to tell anybody what happens, but it just might happen.
Little spoilers. No spoilers.
No spoilers.
That's funny too, because I've had some people. There's definitely some twists, and I like to compare this film. I always say it. I love the movie Greta. It was an independent short film. Some of it was actually shot up here in Toronto, and as far as The Visit as well. If you combine those 2 movies together, that's kind of what you're getting with The Rage. You're getting that suspenseful kind of how do you word it? Just suspenseful, psychological type of horror. So, if you guys do like The Visit and like the movie Greta, definitely check our project out. I think you guys would like it. It has that same type of vibe to it. And I mean, if you guys are just horror fans in general like me, definitely support indie horror. There's a lot of great independent horror films in the works, and there's so many talented people in the industry that are doing it. So if you guys like to support independent short films and independent projects, definitely make sure to check us out. As I said before, if you guys want to check us out, we're on Facebook and Instagram. Our username is @TheRageFilm. We are currently hosting a campaign. So if you guys would like to donate and purchase some perks, if you do so, it would be much appreciated. We're talking about genres as well. What do you like when you guys watch a movie or a TV show? What do you guys like to watch? Like for genres, you guys
definitely
comedy,
love like rom-coms.
Yeah.
I do love horror movies. I do enjoy them as well, but I just love something light and funny just to, mellow out the night. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And on a good note for the day.
Me too. I love, as much as I love horror, I'm a big sucker for I love upcoming of age films. I'm a big fan of John Hughes that does The Breakfast Club, Pretty in Pink, 16 Candles, all those fun 80s classics. I love Superbad. I love Booksmart. There's so many great raunchy teen comedies out there. But I'm with Jacqueline there. There's so many great comedies as far as that. And you, Sandy, what are some of yours?
Well, a go-to would be something like The Office. I could watch it over and over. I mean, Steve Carell, his timing and comedy, I think, is probably the most difficult genre. I would think it's all about comedy. It must be. So I usually go for things like that. But there's a lot of good things on HBO. I'm crazy about documentaries too. I mean, so much. And biographies, biographies. I watch them all.
I've been addicted to watching Ramsay's Kitchen Nightmares. Gordon Ramsay. They're so addictive to watch, just to watch the environment of different restaurants, how they operate. I find it so interesting. It's fun watching him though. Thomas asks in the chat, what's your favorite movie of all time? For me, it would be John Carpenter's Halloween. Do you guys have a favorite that you guys can watch all the time?
Probably like Mamma Mia.
Mamma Mia.
I love it. It's a musical. I like to sing. Like, it's just so happy. And it's ABBA. Like, you can't complain.
I love Grease.
What was that?
I like Grease.
Yeah.
Grease. John Travolta.
Oh, yeah.
It is so.
Mhm.
It's. I was in dance for a long time, and the choreography is like perfect. It's just perfect. And I like the old fashioned, like The Way We Were, all those. If I want to cry, then I'll watch those. Sometimes I feel like
Aw.
I need a sad movie for some reason. But no, I like all those. Mamma Mia, fantastic.
Yeah. Great. I know I'm not huge on musicals, but Grease is my favorite. I mean, yeah, I would say so. I've probably seen that most
Grease
of any
is a good
musical.
one.
Yeah. The only thing I don't like sometimes when I used to watch when I was younger, I used to like it, but rewatching it's a little cheesy now. But
Oh, really?
I love it. Give me all the cheese.
I know it's a fun time. The only part I think I don't like of Grease is when they're floating in the sky at the end in the car. Besides, I like everything else.
Yeah, what was up about that? People always said, "What were they doing?" And somebody had a great idea. Let's put the car in the sky.
They were high on life. High on life.
The great soundtrack, though. I owned the soundtrack when I was younger, and I used to listen to it all the time. And I think I actually went to a live show of Grease as well. But yeah, it's a good time. Wait, so actually, speaking about musicals, because Jacqueline, you've done Broadway, like musical theater. Have you done that as well?
No.
No.
But in my 20s, I belonged to a small dance company, and I did ballet, I did dance, but I tumbled into teaching, and I just did it as a hobby. So I didn't do it or any acting until really last year. Like, this is brand new background for 5 years, and then I decided to do short film and commercials and non-union projects really last fall. So it's really happening quickly. It's really fun.
It's awesome. And Jacqueline, when I first hired you and you sent me a little bio about yourself, you were doing Cinderella, right?
Yes, I was doing a show in Toronto at that time, yes.
Was that a musical or just a Broadway show?
That one was just so it was a pantomime done in Toronto in the Annex Theatre.
Okay.
So it talks with the audience, and it is a family-friendly show, and they do pantomimes all the time in England, so it's kind of bringing that type of theater here in Canada as well.
That's awesome.
So, yeah.
What are some of, because you've done musicals as well, you were saying, you want to talk a little bit, like a couple that were your favorites to do?
Honestly, they're just so different because there's so many different genres of musical theater. There's like Golden Age, so that's all the older ones, and there's all the new ones. There's some shows that are more dance heavy, some are more like singing heavy, or like it's complex music and complex stories, where some of them are a little more light and fluffy. So It really just depends. But like, you can't go wrong with a light and fluffy show. Like, you go there excited and leave there all happy.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, and you know what I forgot to mention one actually that I should have was I've seen a handful of musicals and live. First one I went to was We Will Rock You, and the second one I went to was Rock of Ages, which they turned into a movie. And that was actually a good honorable pick as well. Rock of Ages, the play and the movie are actually pretty good too if you like musicals. It's
I haven't seen the play, but I've seen the movie, and I loved the movie. It was so good.
Great cast too, amazing cast, and just so many good songs that were part of that play, which made it very entertaining to watch. Let's see here. For you guys too, what are some projects that you've worked on in the past that maybe you're most proud of? That stand out to your resume.
Oh, I'll be first. My very first audition was for a short film called Going Under, and that was last October. and I got the part. And I really love short film because I think you have to put the whole story in 8 minutes. It's like
Yeah.
for a director to do all the cuts and the editing. And I cry a lot in it. And it was kind of like it's not disturbing. It's just that I'm dying in it, and I loved it. I loved it. For my audition, I kind of stretched out and I said, okay, just, and he read it to me and I was like, and I really liked it because I'm not normally like that in real life. Like it was like going to a part of me that I had never sort of experienced before, like being weepy. And I loved doing that. We did it over 2 days and I've only seen the trailer and it just looks amazing. And it's from accomplished director too. So I'm hoping to see it one day. But that's my proudest. Really liked it. That was really good.
Awesome. And you, Jacqueline?
I don't know if I have a specific proudest moment specifically that I can think of, but I know for sure when I was in grade 5 and did my first musical, I did Cinderella, of course. And that was like the key moment that I was like, yes, this is what I'm going to do with the rest of my life because I love it. And like my classmates have continuously supported me since elementary school till now. And I think that moment of just, yeah, like this is where I'm going and continuing following those steps. And then you keep going up the ladder. Okay, you finished high school, you went to school for this, and now you finished. Now it's your first audition, your first gig, and then it keeps going. You get another one, you get another one. It just, you get so excited and so proud that of like, you think back up to the girl in grade 5, like you would have never expected that, right?
Yeah.
And it's just so exciting, and you're so proud of yourself for getting there and working so hard to be where you are now and where you will be one day too.
Yeah, exactly. Just keep doing what you're doing. And yeah, I know it's kind of crazy when you think about it too, because I mean, I was even thinking about it like the other day that, oh, you know, I've always had a passion for film for so long. I'm like, you know, now I'm actually doing it. I made so many great friends through doing YouTube and, you know, from like our little horror community that we have, and have some other great supportive, like a lot of our supporters too are friends from either elementary school or high school that some have donated to the project, and people from the YouTube community. And it's a great little support system. And a lot of them are, you know, they've seen me it's kind of crazy. I've been on YouTube maybe like 3 or 4 years, probably 3, I would say. But it's cool because, you know, my supporters and subscribers are getting to watch me grow and to do different things. And everyone's saying, oh, they're so proud of me because they're like, they know I've been wanting to do this for so long. I've been talking about something like that. So it's definitely, yeah, one day you'll look back and be like, wow, now I'm here. Time moves by fast.
Yeah.
Yeah. And for you guys, what are some roles that you would hope to play one day on a film, TV series, or play?
For film, it'd probably just like be someone so strong and maybe like a superhero, something like that would be really cool. Just so strong in herself and also like her personality. She knows what she wants, she knows what she's doing, and then there's whatever story it is. For musicals, honestly, like anything ABBA, like Mamma Mia, like I don't care who I am in that show. I want to be in that show. That is the goal. But yeah, there's quite a few like musicals that I would love to play this character and this character. Like I'd love to be in Chicago. Like I got a good list to gotta get through, but I have plenty of time once COVID's done.
I would love to do quirky comedies because the real me is I'm kind of funny. Like I think everything is funny, and I like to laugh, and you know, I don't know, I just, you know, I have a crazy cat named Charlie. I just like to laugh, and I'm thinking, not because I'm old or anything, but something like the Golden Girls, where they bounce off each other.
Yeah.
And it's just so clever, and the timing, and it's funny, and it's close up on faces, making, you know, acting without words, and I'd love to do that. That would be a real challenge. But comedies don't come along. I haven't seen anything. I mean, I look for things, and it's
Yeah.
all kind of serious, and which is fine. But I thought I'd like to do a comedy one day. And how would you know that you could even do it if you? I've never done a demo reel. Comedy demo reel. I wouldn't know anything about it, but everyone seems to know how to do every other genre. So I'd love to look into something like that. Quirky comedies.
Quirky.
Quirky.
That's awesome. See here in the chat if there's any more questions. Everyone's talking about Grease. Hey, if you guys have any questions, yeah, actually, it's a good thing you mentioned Chicago, because I've seen Chicago many times too, and that was actually filmed up here as well. That's another good musical as well. If everyone in the chat has any questions, feel free to send them over. I want to know from you guys. I always ask my guests this. What is something people may not know about you? Any like secret talent, any hobbies and interests?
Oh, I'll go first. I'm an artist. I paint.
Yeah.
I'm a painter, so that's what I do. But if somebody said, "What do you prefer?" and I've been painting a long time, I said, "Oh, acting for sure." It's the best. It's the best human therapy there is. You just get to not be yourself, and I just find it's really, really fun, really rewarding, very challenging actually. But I'm a painter and a pretty top gardener. It's arts. It's the arts, really.
Yeah. And you, Jacqueline?
For me, well, everyone now knows I sing, so I sing. I love to collect pins. If you can see behind me this way, or yes, wait, let me decide. Right behind me, I have like a board of like places I've been, and I collect pins. Or if I can't find a pin of the place, then I'll get like earrings from that place that kind of like reminds me of the place. Like I went to Salem, so I got like little witch earrings.
That's awesome.
So yeah, I love to collect them, and everywhere I go.
That's one of my dream places to go, so I'm fairly jealous of you.
Oh yeah, they have a really nice museum there. It's really cool there. Like, highly recommend.
What's it called? One of my friends lives there, Sam from Halloween Happy. She actually just got she did a partnership with Spirit Halloween recently, and she visited one of their locations on grand opening day. But she lives in Salem with her boyfriend. What's the museum called? It's is it just witches? It's something about the trial that went on there. I gotta look it up.
Yeah, so it talks about like their history, and like, so it starts, they talk about like pagans, and then throughout history, and then they continue through the witch trials that happened there as well.
Yeah, Salem Witch Museum. It's Salem Witch Museum. Very gothy looking. Yeah, I'm gonna have to go there one day too. I have to visit any of the Hocus Pocus swimming locations.
Oh yeah. I'm just gonna add to the witches. Salem. I was in the Witches of Salem last summer.
Yeah.
Out in Dundas, Ontario, around Hamilton, and the coolest thing about it, I mean, we didn't speak. Very few people had speaking roles, and I got to be one of the witches that was hanged. And the coolest thing about it was real, authentic, vintage clothing.
Yeah.
And the shoes were like about, well, hundreds of years old. We had to take really good care of the clothing, and it was very distinct. And the makeup, the dirt makeup for your hands, and just like the distraught. The set was fantastic. It was really, really good, and the story was fantastic, and I really enjoyed that. But what I loved is the setting. And the costumes, the wigs, it was so incredibly authentic. It was the best set I've ever worked on. It had the best craft table.
That's awesome.
You always remember the food. It's a good point.
Real Tim Hortons coffee. Real. That's all you remember. It was really fun. The costuming. It was just the whole thing. It's just that you're talking about the Witches of Salem, and and was really fun. Drinking the blood, like getting right into the character was so. Stephen, you would have loved it. You love horror. Oh my gosh,
I'll have to check. I remember when I first started talking to you, you sent me that little screenshot from the show of you in costume as the character. That's right. I'll have to check that out. Yeah, I have to go to Salem one day. It's one of my dream locations. But Jacqueline, you've seen Hocus Pocus? I'm sure, right?
Yes.
Did you go to like any of like the filming locations when you were there or not?
No, we were kind of going through the city, so we went to the museum, but then we had to continue our journeys. Yeah, so I didn't like actually like stay. Yeah, we were kind of like road tripping, and it was like a pit stop, and we did some stuff, and then we continued to wherever else we were going.
Oh, I see. Gotcha. Cool.
But I can always go back to do that.
Yeah, I know. I'll have to go one day. And good thing I went to LA when I did, because I went to LA like 2 years ago now. But I've been asking so long to go there because there's so many things I want to see. I think I was down there for like maybe a week, but luckily my cousin, he lives down there, and he gave us a tour around, which was nice. But now I'm just saying that because now with everything going on, I don't know when the next time I'll be able to travel is. So I'm glad I did that when I did that. You actually brought up a couple good points there. Was you guys were talking about challenges and what was the other thing? Well, let's start by challenges. What's been for you guys the most challenging role that you guys had to play so far within your career of doing acting?
Jacqueline can go first.
Honestly, I think each job has something challenging. Sometimes it's how you're going to be saying a word, or maybe if you're being too dramatic on your face or not enough, or if your movements are not really it. Sometimes it's just you as a person. You're just not there. You're having a bad day, and you still gotta push through and like, okay, this is where I need to be. This is where I am. Okay, I know what's going on with my life. We're gonna push to the side. We need to focus. This is the character. This is what she needs. This is what I need to get done as the character and get the job done today. Yeah. So I think each job has their own difficulties, especially like depending on how long as well. If it's a show or if it's a theater gig, sometimes it can run for many weeks. So you're not going to be 100% every week. Sometimes you might have a sprained ankle, like God knows, or maybe a cold, and you're not feeling 100%. That's another challenge of don't want to lose your voice because you still have to work tomorrow kind of thing. Yeah. So there's many different challenges, but you always overcome it. Like if you can't figure it out by yourself, always talk to your director or your castmates. Be like, hey, I'm kind of stuck at this point. Like, can you help me out? Or, hey, this is where I am emotionally today. I kind of need a moment, and maybe like tomorrow really push me. Okay. Yeah. Because like we're all human. We have our days. Yeah. And exactly. It's important to know that too. But yeah, I think nothing like too crazy has happened to me yet that I was like, I don't know what to do. I just love to dig into the character and figure out their stories and their lives and what do they love, what do they hate, and what do they want out of the scene is like the most important part. Like, what do I want out of this?
Exactly.
For me, I would say a real challenging thing is to speak somebody else's words. And you can tell in movies when characters are comfortable with the screenwriter's words and if they're not.
Right.
Stephen's great because you said ad lib, definitely throw in your own words. And which is great because I've said lines before and I thought, it's a little bit awkward because I wouldn't say it that way.
Yeah.
And then when you rehearse lines, you should be able to go into a scene. This is my personal opinion. I don't know. I've never heard anybody say this, but you should be able to do a scene and act the scene without the words. Like your body, your face, your eyes should be able to do that. So if you throw in the words, you have to make them sound authentic, like you're actually saying them, not somebody else's words. Because you have to put script to the character, right? And it doesn't always mesh that way. You can always tell a poor actor or actress, they're not saying their words, they're saying
Yeah.
his words, and it's awkward. It's awkward.
Yeah.
But a great actor, you would swear they're doing their scene without a script.
Exactly. You made up a good point there because actually, yeah, when I interviewed Dee Wallace, she said the same thing. She says, sometimes when I'm doing a line, it just doesn't want to come out. So like you have to just say it what flows and how you want to say it. But yeah, that's a good point that you pointed out there. And as far as before, we're talking about working on sets and different projects. Do you guys have a favorite set that you've worked on? Maybe it's not necessarily, working on the project, but maybe the set itself and the design and the layout. Anything stand out to you?
Oh, I'll go first. I'll go first. Witches of Salem for sure, because they had in one of the scenes with the hangings, and they had stunt people hooked up in the harness. It was just fascinating. I just loved it. And they had all the nooses, and it was outside, and it was in a specific tree that is used like this. It's the outside of Dundas, Ontario, and they use this tree quite a bit in movies where the characters are being hanged, because it's just a perfect hanging. It sounds bizarre, but I found that set was fascinating just to see how they turned it into 1600 Salem. So that was my favorite. Jacqueline. Yeah.
I don't think I've had a specific favorite one. Like, I just love everything that I do. I just get so excited. I'm that person that it's like, I just love everything. Like, every project's so different. Like, I've done projects out in Hamilton and Flamborough, and we're in the middle of like nowhere, and it's just forest around you, and it's just like you can hear the coyotes at night. I've done theater, and like in theater, it's just magical as well, working with people and having the audience feeling their energy and seeing what they think of the show as you're there. You know what I mean? Like you can feel if they're really sucked in or if they're kind of like, not today.
Yeah.
So
theater's
like,
definitely
it's just
different
so
surrounding.
different.
Yeah.
Yes. They're both very different, but both magical in their own ways.
Awesome. Very cool. Those are good picks. Let's see. Well, we're gonna look through more questions here in the chat. My friend Thomas, he's 16. He wants to make his first short film. He's 16. He's asking, will people take me seriously? You guys have more experience with working on sets, so maybe you guys can answer that one.
Honestly, yes. I worked with someone on a short film, and it was a completely separate project. But I learned afterwards that he created his own short film within his friends and buddies that were all interested in the industry as well. And it's gone into many film festivals. So, just because you're young doesn't mean you're not talented, doesn't mean that you're not hardworking. You're just newer. You just have a lot more to learn. Everyone has a lot to learn. No one knows everything about the industry. But I would say what's most important is just, being professional. If you're doing a shoot, make sure there's food. Everyone always thinks about the food. It's such a small thing, but it's a huge deal. Everyone thinks about that. So if you are acting professionally and kind, everyone loves to work with kind and happy people and caring people, passionate people. Like, it makes the job so much more fun. And yeah, like, just because you're 16, age is just a number.
I've done student films, and they're great. They're great. It's great to sit back and watch young people work their magic. And I love it. I love student films, and they advertise a lot of them, and a lot of actors and background people who I know say, if it's non-paying, I'm not interested. And I'm thinking, whoa. Okay, number one, you're supporting the industry. You don't know down the road that someone like Stephen Durock might need someone like Jacqueline or Sandy. You know, you make your connections. I don't care if someone's 18 or whatever. You start making your connections, and it was good. It was really, really good experience. I really enjoyed the student films. I really enjoyed the whole process. The keen, it's just everybody's so keen and excited, and you just sort of sit back, and it works its magic.
Those are good answers.
Yeah, just to add on to Sandy, like when I think I was 18, I did a film project with my friends. We were all going into the industry before school started, I think, or it was during the summer between the summer break of school, of college, and someone saw our film and hired the cinematographer and me for the next job, which led to 2 other jobs later down the road.
Right.
Because of we
That's
just
right.
did a project together and someone saw it. YouTube is so amazing nowadays. Like, it is such a gift, especially for artists, that it's a great platform to just share and for people to see your work. And because you really never know. Like, I definitely didn't when I started.
Mm-hmm.
So
Well, you were just on that Created movie, and that has like over 2 million views or something like that.
Yes. I don't know what the number is right now, but it's definitely up there. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That's where it led me. So just work with many people, and you know what, exactly what Sandy said, you don't know who's going to be who down the road. That's what I always say too, just like Sandy. I'm like, working with students, you get to play and be adventurous, and there's no pressure because you're getting paid. There's no one's money on the line either. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Everyone's having fun and doing this because they love it, and then you build great connections. And like Sandy said, you don't know who's going to be who down the road. So it's good to be kind and hardworking, and because they could book you a job later on.
Exactly.
And also, you kind of learn from each other. I remember reading a line, and it was kind of awkward. I was playing a grandmother, and it's not what I would say. Not that I'm not a grandmother, but I couldn't. It was an awkward sentence. I said, you know what I'd say, blah blah blah. And she went, oh my God, yeah, that's better. And so we learn from each other, and nobody's a know-it-all, but if you can support, if you can kind of help someone a little bit. You know, this is a little bit. What do you think? Oh yeah, like if people really appreciate that, just like what Jacqueline was saying, there's no money on the line. When you're sitting there, when you're all in this together, everybody's doing their best with the final product, the goal.
Yeah.
Everybody has to shine.
Yeah.
And if you can help someone shine, do it by all means.
And you made a good point there too, Sandy. You know, obviously this was I think I've started writing scripts in the past, but you know, sometimes it's hard to finish doing a script because you're in that spot and it's like, I don't know where to go from here. The Rage was like the first official like script I actually completed, which was a good accomplishment for me. Writing a script is hard because you have to get inside the mindset of each character. And as far as me, it's like, well, you have to think about that. It's like, I don't know which one, like what this character is going through and like, in this point of their life, but the actor can apply to that and be like, well, you know, through my experiences, I would do it this way instead of this way that you wrote, because, you know, the script writer may not know exactly in which character that direction, like what direction that character should go and how they should, you know, I don't want to say what lines to say, but kind of along those lines, yes. But no, having the actor and having their own experiences can add on to their character in the movie. So that's a good point you made there, Sandy.
One other thing is when you rewrote, you changed just one word that I say when I'm talking to Jacqueline, and I do have daughters, probably Jacqueline's age. You changed just one word. I never told you this, Stephen. You changed a word to love, from love to sweetie. Like hello, love, or hello, dear, and then you change it to sweetie. And you know what's so funny is I call my daughters sweetie. Hey, sweetie. Like that's my pet name. And I thought, oh, so that rolled off. So I thought, oh, that is so great, Stephen. We're connecting here because I would never tell you, you know what, Steve and I would, whatever words you want me to say, I'd say. But that I felt really comfortable because that is a word that I used to, just one word can maybe change the whole, it could maybe change the whole scene, the whole kind of feeling of it.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Because it's the thing is, you guys are the characters. I'm just the person that like writing the story. I need you guys to bring this character to life. And as far like the script changes many times. I mean, every production, the script changes multiple times throughout production, and that's the process. That's how it goes. Sometimes there's last minute things on the day of shooting, but the actors, that's why they're there too. They're there to bring this character to life, and they're there to help with the suggestions. As I said, I love improv. So even like, when we're shooting, I love to hear improv. I like to see what you guys come up with on the spot. Let's see here. Artie Zombie, hi, how's it going? Someone you chat, this came into the chat. Horden asks, Jacqueline and Sandy, what scares you?
Oh. Not much. I'm kind of fearless. Oh my gosh. I'll let Jacqueline go first. I have to think about it.
I don't know either. Probably just like spooky things that we just don't understand. If that makes sense.
Yeah,
like
unknown.
Stuff like that. Like things that like science doesn't understand, and if you believe in ghosts, and I do, so like, there's a whole other world that we have no idea about.
I know.
So.
I know what scares me. I taught in a school, and it had a bit of a history of being haunted, and I think, no way. And I taught on the second floor, and nobody was on the third floor. It was empty, and I used to hear things. And yeah. And two of my students went up there one day, and they came down, and they were crying, like it was just like a creep fest. The whole scene was creepy, and my imagination took over, and I thought, okay, it's obviously pipes or whatever in an older building. But I remember one of the caretakers said that he never went on the third floor. And I'm thinking, oh my God, where am I working? It's one of these old schools in downtown Toronto, but there is kind of a haunting feeling in the older buildings, and it's usually wind, windows, creaking walls, plaster. It can always be explained, but you see a lot of movies, you think maybe it can't be explained.
Yeah.
That's what, it's kind of a little bit scary.
Yeah.
You gotta send me that name of the school after here.
Oh, I can't. Oh my God.
I enjoy watching that type of stuff. It interests me, the unknown. I mean, whether it's like UFO stuff or Sasquatch stuff or paranormal things. I enjoy actually one channel I watch is it? Hold on. Let me see. I'm drawing a blank of the channel name, but let's see here.
Is it FX? Because they have a lot of paranormal things.
It's actually it's called Official Ed and Lorraine Warren channel. So Ed and Lorraine Warren are obviously the characters from the Conjuring films, but they're obviously real people in real life that they were based on. So there's this guy that runs a channel. His name's Tony Spera. He was good friends with Ed and Lorraine Warren, and he owns their estate. And obviously their property is kind of abandoned, but they took the property into their inheritance, so they own it now. And they still have the museum with all the haunted items in there. But he posts videos quite often just talking about different things, whether it's hauntings and all that stuff. And it's interesting hearing stories from people that have been through this type of stuff, because I mean, Ed and Lorraine Warren, especially now, I think most people know that name from watching the Conjuring films. So it's definitely interesting. And I
love hearing about them. It just scares me.
Yeah. I was actually thinking I should try to get Guerra on the show. It would be cool to interview him and see what experiences he's been through because he talks about a lot of them. Let's see. Someone says in the chat, I say I ain't afraid of nothing, but when I see a spider, I just lose my mind. And then,
What a mood.
someone else says, Steven's next project, the third floor, LOL.
You know what? I'm going to sit down. I'm going to have you write a script because I got some ideas.
Maybe I can actually film it at that school.
Oh yeah, the school board. School board would love that. Yeah. I'll tell you something. Old buildings, especially school buildings and courthouses in cities like Toronto, are so interesting. And there's a lot of like ghost stories about the different buildings that is really interesting. And so when you live in a place, and when you work and live in a place that is based on ghost stories, it's really there's lots of things you can write about.
Oh yeah, so many things. That's awesome. And as far as you guys, who's a dream actor, director you guys would love to work for one day?
Or
work
with? Jacqueline can go first. I have to think about it.
For a dream actor, I would love to work with Ellen Page. Oh my goodness, she's so good, and she's Canadian, so like,
win-win.
Gotta rep your country. For directors, I don't really have anyone in specific that I'm like, I can't wait to maybe one day work with them. Like, there's just so big names. I'm like, oh my goodness. I think working with any like huge name would just be like, oh my god.
Yeah.
So
I was booked and I'm still booked, but I don't know if it's going to happen. With Nightmare Alley with Guillermo del Toro. He is okay. This is just background. I love background because you sit back and watch, and it is so, and you have to be very patient. Well, of course, very patient to watch the doubles and the stand-ins and this and that. And it's supposed to be at the end of next month, up in Markham, but I haven't worked with him. And a couple of my background friends said he is amazing. Perfectionist, but interesting. And then you see his movies like Shape of Water. I mean, fantastic. Almost like that dreamy effect. And so I'd love to work with him more than background. But I don't know if that's now. These dates were put off, and then of course the main actors. Everybody's on new projects now, so I don't know what's going to happen. It really. COVID really changed the film industry.
Yeah.
Who knows what's going to happen? But that was one opportunity I had.
But did that ever get rescheduled or not? Like to shoot? Like, did you shoot it yet, or did you not shoot it yet?
No, it's rescheduled for. I believe he did a lot of the scenes in January, February, but it kept being rescheduled and bumped.
Yeah.
And it's supposed to be the end of next month. But I who knows?
No for sure answer.
I read Facebook articles where a lot of directors are thinking of hiring, like I'm talking hiring background for their specific project, but only that project. So if I do one day, because I love background, you meet so many people, so many ideas. So you can't do a show one day, then the next day go to another set. So they want to self-contain COVID restrictions in place of background. So I'm non-union. So although I do have my costume and everything already picked out, they will probably go with ACTRA people, which is right here and there. It's my choice from the beginning. So who knows?
It might be a bit of both.
Yeah, that's true.
So I haven't heard. I am booked for 9 days, but one day at a time. But this, you can't get all your hopes up, and usually 14 6-hour days are pretty grueling. But I'd love to do it, but we'll see what happens. Like I said, each day is is a new day. So we'll see.
Yeah. Well, if you get any updates or hear anything, let me know. Maybe you can squeeze me in as an extra and I can meet Guillermo.
Oh, I just want to look. I just want to see. You know, these directors, they're just like almost like magical. You know, apparently when he
Yeah.
walks in, he's a grand man. Like he's a large man. Everybody just kind of like you're just in awe of his magic, you know, and how he moves people around. Yeah, I have a few friends who worked on the set, and they said he's just a true perfectionist. Every
Mhm.
scene, many, many, many times. But
Yeah.
He knows what he wants. That's great.
that's right. And lots of safety scenes just in case, because you know, but he's a perfectionist, and that's the business.
Yeah, no, exactly. Well, we're just talking about actors and directors that you'd want to work with. Do you guys have a favorite director by any chance? Because we talked about favorite like inspirations and favorite actors earlier, but do you guys have a favorite director that you guys tend to watch often?
Hmm.
No, I mix through like whatever. If I think the show looks good or the movie looks great, I'll watch it. If it doesn't hook me, then I won't watch it. Like, I'm not a very, I guess, loyal in the sense of like I have to watch all of their movies. If I'm not interested, I'm not interested. Like, that's okay. Not
Yeah,
everyone's going
no.
to be interested in everything I do either.
In my younger years, I loved every Woody Allen film. He was just so fantastic. And also Roman Polanski did some
Mm,
really good movies. I mean, Rosemary's Baby, it's fantastic. But they haven't done movies in many, many years. And of course, Spielberg, how can you not love his,
yeah,
you know,
he's amazing.
they're over the top amazing. And I read somewhere that there was it's not that he's not respected, but there was a kind of a thing that was being written about him because he does these type of movies. And I'm thinking, yeah, but it doesn't matter if it's a blockbuster movie. Look what he does with his actors. It's flawless. Every scene is beautiful and flawless and
Yeah.
magic. So he's pretty awesome.
It's funny that you mentioned Rosemary's Baby because I met Mia Farrow, who's like the lead from the movie, like I think it probably was a couple of years ago at Fan Expo, and I was asking her how she thought that movie because when it ends, it just ends with her discovering that her baby's the baby of Satan. And I asked her, "What do you think happened? Do you think she ditched the baby, or do you think like she took care of it? And what do you think happened?" She says, "I." Because it and you know a lot of the older movies just end sudden like that too. But no, she was saying, you know, I think that she would probably have taken care of the baby and treated it like its own son. But that was definitely a shocking movie for the time it was made. Yeah, that's a classic.
Her face at the end, looking at the baby, is a classic. Like she's a typical actress. I think she's an underrated actress because she
Mm,
didn't have any words, but her face said it all. How she saw the devil's eyes in the baby, right? And then
yeah,
she brought the baby, so it was kind of interesting. I love that movie. Oh my God, that's now those are my favorites. I don't call them sort of horror; they're like psychological thrillers. And the old lady Ruth Gordon, she won Academy Award for that. It was fantastic.
yeah.
She's very good.
One thing I heard, I think it was yesterday, it was announced or the day before, but apparently they're rebooting The Exorcist, which kind of pisses me off because that movie is like kind of untouchable to me. For its time that was made, obviously it made a big impact on the film industry. But I mean, come on, don't remake that classic. It's like someone remaking um, John Carpenter's Halloween, but yet someone remade the like most popular movie, which is Psycho. They remade that in the '90s, which I didn't think was necessary, and literally was shot by shot. But yeah, apparently they're remaking The Exorcist, which I'm not too happy about. But we'll see what happens. I'm sure I'll still end up watching it.
When I saw The Exorcist, it was in the 70s, and this is before internet and people, I just read in the paper and the word was out that, people were fainting and throwing up. And yeah, so I went with my high school friends. This is in the 70s.
Yeah.
And we were like shocked. I'd never seen anything like that. I went home and I couldn't sleep. Um,
Mhm.
like I was about
No.
18 or 19. I couldn't sleep with with the lights off. I had my
Yeah.
lights on. And my brother went to see it and he had to put a rosary on the end of the like this
Yeah.
people were just like we were
Oh my
absolutely
God.
shocked because there was a real religious sentiment in it and then people are oh whatever but she was typecast in that. She was only 12 when she did that and she never worked much after that.
Yeah.
It kind of ruined her career. She was a young excellent actress, Linda Blair,
Mhm.
and never really made another movie. It's too bad, eh?
Yeah, right now. She's actually like really big into doing dog rescuing. She has a dog rescuing
Oh,
company, but that's what she does now. She doesn't do acting, and she does a lot of conventions now. But yeah, she did. You know, she did. The actress is obviously was. I think that's obviously what she's best known for. But she's done a few other good cult classic films that came out back in the day.
oh, has she? Oh, I should look her up because I didn't see her after that. And I mean, she was very young. She was 12, so and her mother was
Yeah,
on set with her all the time. So, I
yeah.
didn't hear about her anyway.
Horden, I have to go. Great show so far, Stephen. Great to chat with Jacqueline and Sandy. Can't wait to see you all in the rage. Thank you, Michael. Have a good night. And yeah, and any new people that are hopping in right now, we're going to be closing the session shortly. I appreciate you all have been watching so far. It's been fun chatting. And yeah, you guys haven't yet, check us out on Facebook and Instagram. Support our independent horror short film. Our campaign is closing early next month in September. Our username is @TheRageFilm. We're selling perks such as t-shirts, digital copies, posters, and much more. And we're also doing raffles, and we're currently raffling this Kiefer Sutherland Lost Boys signed 8x10, and we only have 10 spots left. So if you guys would like to enter, now is probably the best time to do so. We have a few other raffles coming up as well before the campaign ends, so keep an eye out for that. But let's see here. Someone said, I wish I didn't watch horror so much as a kid because now nothing really scares me anymore. Does anyone know of a very scary movie? Has there been any, like for you guys, has there been any movies recently that actually scared you?
Blair Witch Project is really creepy and paranormal. Have you
Yeah.
seen those?
Yeah.
Those are really,
Yeah.
they're so amateur that they're creepy.
Yeah.
That's also one.
I get what you mean.
Yeah.
Blair
Yeah, there
Witch are a lot of
hasn't been
people's
one
favorites.
yet that I've been like up at night. Like I watched The Nun recently and it was good, but like I wasn't like you know what I mean? Like it was
Yeah.
good. I liked the movie, but
Yeah.
I wasn't terrified.
You know, it's funny that movie got a lot of like hate towards it. I mean, obviously the spin-offs are not going to be as good as like the original series of The Conjuring, but I actually didn't mind The Nun. I saw it in theater and I watched it when it came out on like Blu-ray, and I thought it was good for what it was. I mean, I didn't hate it, but I know a lot of people liked it, but it was fine.
Yeah, like I didn't
it.
hate it. It wasn't my favorite from like that like I guess you could say series kind of thing. You know what I mean? Like it wasn't my favorite one, but like it was still good.
Yeah, I know exactly. You know, another one oldies. You guys ever watched H.P. Lovecraft, like his type of style of movies?
No.
No, should check him out. It's very plays tricks with the mind. I would say it's very like dream like type things. But yeah, check. He was a writer, but a lot of movies were based on his writing, I believe. But yeah, it's definitely check it out if you haven't already. Someone asked, hold on, where is it here? Did you delete the comment? Yeah, I guess it was not there anymore. It's okay. Hey, Soulless Trenchcoat, how's it going? You have new people hopping in. If you guys have any last minute questions, let me know. And we're going to be wrapping this up in a few minutes. Let's see if I have any last questions here. Maybe you know what? Maybe this will give me a good time. Yeah, In the Mouth of Madness is a great Lovecraft. Yeah, it is. Yeah, it's a good one. In the Mouth of Madness is also John Carpenter. That was, and it's with Sam Neill, and it was actually filmed in the GTA of Toronto. It was filmed at the Cathedral of Configuration in Richmond Hill or Markham, and it was filmed in Unionville, downtown Toronto. But it's definitely a good one. It's a good pick. For anybody that watches my channel, you guys obviously know about me, but if you guys have not yet know or been aware, it's I'm directing my first independent horror short film. It's my directorial debut, and we are planning to shoot our project next month in September. We're waiting to hear on what the numbers are going to be. Starting in early September, we'll know an answer if we're going to be able to shoot. So far, the numbers here in Canada haven't been too bad for COVID. So, hopefully if the numbers stay down and we take our safety precautions, we'll be able to shoot this film and get it ready to go. So it's ready for viewing by next year. But everyone that watches my channel obviously knows that, I'm a big fan of horror, and I always have been since I was a kid. I started watching horror and getting introduced to like the Universal monsters and Abbott and Costello Meet Frankenstein. And that's kind of all started for me, but film has always been a passion for me. So if you guys would like to support my project, make sure to do so. If you guys have, like supporting indie art and, arts in general, we're selling a wide range of perks that you guys can get. And every little bit helps. And our campaign, I think it's closing in about 2 weeks, I would say, a little over 2 weeks. So if you guys would like to support us, hit us up on Facebook and Instagram. Our username is @TheRageFilm. You guys can direct order from us. Did you guys, Sandy and Jacqueline, do you guys want to add anything here before we close off for the night?
Yeah, I can't wait. I really can't wait.
Yeah.
I just want to see how it goes. The script is so intriguing and it's so exciting. And Stephen, you're such a pleasure to work with, and Jacqueline, cute as a button, and your crew is so lovely. I just think it's going to be a really positive experience. And I think it's going to be a real challenge. And I think it's going to be really, really good.
Yeah, I am so excited. Like, once you get on set and we get all the gears going, it's just so exciting, and it's so well written, and it's going to be so much fun working with Sandy, and I'm just so excited. And then once you finish filming it, you're like, when is it done? When is it done? When is it done? You're just like, I just want to see it. Like, you get so excited because you're like, okay, now I did the work, but now I want to watch it. Like, that's the one thing about film that's like, okay, once it's done, I'm like, I can't wait to watch it and see how it got all put together and what it looks like and what were the final shots chosen as well. So it's so exciting.
It is. No, I'm excited to get to the cutting room. My editor, he's in Ottawa, but he's pretty good. I went through quite a bit of different editors, and I'm excited to see what he does, because also, as much as crew members, directors, actors do on the film, at the end of the day, the editor makes a huge impact on what the movie actually comes out being. So, you can make it's funny. I've watched clips online of movies or like trailers that got turned into different type of genres of film. Literally, editing is everything, and you can make it into what you want it to be. But I'm excited. And if you guys are not yet aware, the script was actually first developed by Lynn Griffin. For your horror fans, you might know her name. She was from Black Christmas. She played Claire in the Black Christmas movie. And that's actually why I named Sandy's character Claire, to pay homage. And I'm also named Jacqueline's character Laurie to play homage to Halloween. So, we are selling some limited signed posters, and it will be getting signed by Lynn Griffin. So if you guys are a fan of Black Christmas, there'll only be 20. It'll be only 20 11 by 17 signed. They're limited and numbered. So if you guys want to hop on that, feel free to hit us up on Facebook or Instagram. And I think we have 15 left or so. It should be fun. And she's actually going to be coming on set as well and being an extra. So that should be fun. And I look forward to see how our project's going to turn out. It's very exciting. And if you guys would like to keep updated on what's going on with our project, make sure to follow us on our social media, and make sure to go check out Jacqueline as well. I'll make sure to add, I don't think I added the links before I started the live stream, but after I end the live stream here, I'll add the link to Jacqueline's social media where you guys can follow her, check her out, see what she's up to. Sandy, I don't know if you're on any social media. I know you're on Facebook, but anywhere I can send people that want to learn more about you.
I'll let you know. I am on Instagram. That was mostly for my art. People can go and look at my art if they want, but not for my film.
No
I definitely
worries.
will think about that and transition over.
For sure. I'll make sure to add that for Jacqueline's below if you guys want to check her out. And just keep me posted, Sandy. I'll be happy to do that for you. And I'm excited to see. I appreciate everyone that has donated so far and supported our project. We really do appreciate it. We're getting really close to having our goal reached. And as I said, the campaign is closing early September. So make sure to get your perks now while they last. And I hope you guys all have a great night that are watching. And make sure to keep updated to what we're up to on our social media. Or Instagram and Facebook is at The Rage Film. Hope you guys all have a great night. And I'll see you all real soon. Take care, guys. Bye.
Bye.
Bye, Steven.